Hey, what's going on? This is Dylan from Manoa Chocolate, and today we are going to cover loading a ball mill and the more nuanced details of how to load it so that you don't end up with larger micron sizes in your chocolate where you don't want any grittiness when you bite into a chocolate bar. And that can happen if you don't load or scrape this correctly. We did do an episode on this, I think it was episode number 10, where we talked about using the ball mill and how it works. So we're gonna skip some of the details on that. We're more focused on how to actually load this. And so the first thing we have to do is actually take nibs and crush them up. So we use a 4-roll pre-refiner, and it's got these large steamroller type of stones that are very close together that smash the nibs up to a point where it's small enough that if we apply heat, it will melt for the first time because the cocoa butter can be released. And so this is kind of like crushing up peanuts to make peanut butter. We've crushed up nibs so that we can start to load it into our ball mill and make chocolate. Now we have, if you look here, we've got crushed up nibs. This is small enough now that when we load it into our ball mill, it will start to melt and turn into what we call cocoa liquor, cocoa mass, something like that. We now have to take this and we're going to take scoops of the crushed up nibs, the cocoa mass, and we're going to load it into our ball mill. And right now it's off. It doesn't even matter. We're going to fill it up, and then this water jacket that's around the machine is hot. So in addition to this water jacket being hot, the friction that's going to be generated from when the machine starts turning on, all the little balls are rubbing together, causing a lot of heat, causing a lot of friction. And that's going to also make this very hot and start to turn into what looks like chocolate for the first time. So what we do is we pre-refine. In this case, we do about 72 kilos in a batch of a ball mill of nibs, and it turns into about 120 kilos of chocolate. We load all that in here, turn it on, let it start, maybe spin it for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll hit the pump button, because now it's gotten hot enough that it can get, it's worked its way through all the balls, it's gonna pump up and drop on top, and it'll start to recirculate and turn into what looks like chocolate very quickly, cocoa liquor. And what's important here is that you want to then, after you finish loading all the crushed up nibs, you want to scrape the sides or anywhere that it's risen up or is on the shafts or the arms of the shaft, because you need everything to grind very evenly. And so the first thing is you do that with the cocoa mass. Then after, say, an hour, we would load sugar, and you have to do the same thing with the sugar. And this is even more important because the sugar is so much larger and in our case needs more time going through all the little balls to fracture into somewhere around 15, 16 microns. And so we're gonna show you what that looks like soon when we load the sugar in the next hour. So now we have been refining or grinding, ball milling the crushed up nibs for about an hour. It's very chocolate looking, and we are about to add sugar. So it's about to go from cocoa liquor to what we now call chocolate. And so we've got our bag of sugar here, and it's just organic cane sugar. We don't want to add brown sugar, we don't want to add coconut sugar, we want just refined cane sugar. And what that is going to do is balance out some of the more bitter qualities in chocolate so that you can taste the beautiful subtleties. We don't want to influence the flavor by adding something like brown sugar or coconut sugar, because that has flavors of its own, whereas this doesn't. It's just a sweetness. And so I'm starting to scoop this 25 kilo bag in, which is going to give me a 70% dark chocolate. And you can see as it's going in here, the sugar crystals are starting to go on top of the arms of that shaft. And so before I finish the machine, right after I finish loading the sugar, I'm going to scrape all that off so that nothing is left and everything gets refined very evenly. So you don't have big granules on the shafts and on the sides of the machine. So now what's happened is we've added sugar. We scraped the sides to make sure that the sugar crystals are not concentrated or away from getting ground into the rest of the mass, because we really want an even distribution of all the micron sizes, whether that's the chocolate that we've just refined or the sugar. And for us, when we add the sugar, that's what takes longer to get down to a smaller micron size. We're going for about 15 microns. And If you look in here right now, there's not any sugar on the shafts or the arms of the shaft or on the sides of the ball mill itself. Now, I had the fan, the vent on. There's a blower and it's constantly sucking out all the acetic acid, the vinegar, that's burning off of this batch, which is great because there's such an excessive amount in it at this point in time, and it's so easy to remove it at this phase. So now you can see we've added the nibs, we've added the sugar, we've ran it for 180 minutes. Our batch should be finished. What we're going to do now is we're going to dip some chocolate into the onto a micrometer, a grindometer is what it's called, and then we're going to squeegee it down, and it's going to tell us the micron size based on where it fills in on the porosity of this machine. So that's now how we've loaded a ball mill. Those are all our little tricks and secrets. For milk ball mills, there's another ingredient that gets added, and adding milk is more challenging than adding sugar because it clumps up on the sides and you really have to make sure you scrape it. And so in this ball mill it's easier because we can dump it from the side while it's spinning, and it helps mix things in more evenly. You have to still, after say 4 scoops of milk powder, scrape the sides or add additional cocoa butter while you're doing it. If you don't do that, you're going to end up with this ring of milk powder that never gets mixed in to the rest of the batch. And so you're going to have all of a sudden, same with sugar sometimes, big sugar crystals and everything else is really refined, or milk powder and then everything else is really well mixed. So keep that in mind when you're loading your ball mill. You just want everything mixed really evenly. It's all common sense, but it took us a while to figure that out. So there you go. That's how we load a ball mill here at Manoa Chocolate. We'll see you next time. Happy chocolate making.